Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about 5 essential tools that every small engine mechanic should have in his toolbox. These are tools that I use all the time, and I'm not talking about wrenches and sockets and screwdrivers. These are tools that you should know about if you're going to do your own repairs at home. And if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll throw in a 6th bonus tool, so you won't want to miss that. All right, let's get right to it. Okay, so the thing I want to talk about first is actually the thing I use most often. That's these brushes right here. These brushes, these pins, these rods, whatever you want to call them, they are invaluable. A lot of times when the fuel sits in the carburetor for 6, 8 months or more, it will gel up the carburetor and it'll look all nasty inside. And I use these pins all the time for cleaning stuff up. You just find the one that fits and then you can clean stuff out. If you look on these, they have like a ridged edge here, a knurled edge, whatever you want to call it, but it's rough, and that helps to clean out the holes. I've had people say in the past that you can use a bread tie or, you strip the plastic off a bread tie, but the problem with that is you have a smooth piece of wire. Yeah, you can use the bread tie, but these are better, and they're pretty inexpensive. I think these were less than $10. A lot of carburetors have a emulsion tube in the center here that you can remove. Here's a shot right here of one of my older videos, and you can clean all them little tiny holes out of the center of the emulsion tube. You can use these brushes right here. If you can find, a place where they fit, like this right here, and clean out those kind of areas, with some cleaner in there. And these are really invaluable. Okay, so if you found any value in this video so far, please click on that like button below and do subscribe to this channel. I come out with content like this as often as I can. Okay, so I'm going to mix tips 2 and 3 together because they do kind of go together. Now on the left here we have a set made by NEIKO. What this is an extended Torx Bits set. This is a nice set. It goes all the way from T10 to T40. Now you'll find these Torx heads scattered throughout the lawnmower kingdom in various places. Here's a shot of a steel backpack blower. You definitely need some Torx bits to get this off of here. Here's a Troy-built front wheel, I believe. This is a Torx screw on this one to get that loose. And also, these come in real handy on a Briggs & Stratton V-twin carburetor removal. If you look here, these screws either have the option for a wrench or you can put a Torx in the middle. I kind of prefer using the Torx in the middle. It makes it a little bit easier to get that off of there, and I'll talk more about that here in just a second. But one thing I do like about these is they're 3/8 drive, so you have the option either to hook it to a drill or you can hook it to a ratchet, okay? Now be careful with these. These are not impact rated. They do make a different set that is impact rated, so you might want to look at that. But what I do, because it's not impact rated, is I'll use the ratchet to break it loose, okay? And then I'll transfer that over to the drill for speedy removal. And you can do the same thing when you tighten it up. Just don't use the impact under a lot of pressure. So on the right here, we have this red set, and you might be looking at that and wondering, well, what in the world is all that? Well, this is what they call a reverse Torx or a female Torx socket set. And these are really nice for removing studs or something like that that might be sticking up. On the Briggs & Stratton lawnmower situation I mentioned earlier with the V-twin, once you get the carburetor off, you have these 2 studs, or actually 4 studs, that you need to remove, and that will either fit a 4mm socket, okay? This is the stud size. This is a T25, and that 4mm socket will fit right over that, right like that. Or you can use this E5 right here, and that is actually made for that. It fits perfectly. Now I can't think off the top of my head where else you would find a situation like that where you need these, but this E5 definitely comes in handy on the Briggs & Stratton. Okay, so this next tool right here, number 4, is one of my favorites. The Magnamatic Mag 1000 Magnetic Blade Balancer. This puppy is really nice. It's really sensitive. This is just a junk blade that I've found on a lawnmower in the back, and it's actually a little bit off, but it's not really that bad. This type of blade balancer really beats this style where you just kind of sit it on there on a flat surface and balance the blade. I like this much better. This one is a pretty expensive model. This is a $200 blade balancer. They do make some other ones that are about half that price and still have good ratings. Even with this oblong blade right here, it still fits, right? You just put it on the center cone like so, and then pull your magnet up to it like that, and then do your thing. You know, if you're gonna have a heavy side, you can mark something with an H for heavy or whatever until you get it exactly right. So this tool works great, or any of the ones like it that are highly rated probably work just as good too. All right, so number 5 is this inline spark tester right here. You just disconnect the spark plug wire from the spark plug and hook it right in just like that. It's pretty self-explanatory. These things work great as a first resort if you got something that doesn't start. That way you don't have to take the carburetor all apart only to find out there's something wrong with your spark. I've actually used these things to diagnose. I had a tractor one time, a V-twin, that was popping in the exhaust and I couldn't figure it out. So I hooked 2 of these things up to both cylinders and I found one was not consistent with the other one and that magneto was bad. As it turns out, I took the magnetos loose and apparently the ground connection to the motor was causing the problem, because after I took them loose and put them back, it was fixed and never had another problem. But yeah, all you have to do on this is pull the cord and this hopefully will light up. Okay, so here's the bonus tool number 6. This can be used for a lot of good things. It can be used for testing for stuck valves, for wore-out rings, for a wore-out engine, stuff like that. It also comes with these different spark plug hole adapters, okay, so those come in really handy. This set can also be used for automotive, so you can test for low or dead cylinders. And if you find a spark plug hole that nothing fits, none of the adapters fit, you can always use the universal rubber one that you stick down in the hole, and that'll fit anything. I'm sure you can use it on a weed whacker and a blower or anything like that. This will fit just about anything. So this is a really useful tool that you should have in your toolbox. Okay, well, I hope these tips and tools have been useful for you. Thanks for watching.